This is the story of a girl who cried a river. Do you remember that song?
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay. I
course
just
I do.
watched. What?
I said, of course I do.
I mean,
I'm shocked you think it's that old to me.
Girl, that song came out in 2000.
I'm a 95 baby.
I mean, you were 5, but still, agreed. So, funny thing, I just watched Everything Everywhere All at Once. Everybody needs to watch it because it's one of the greatest movies I've ever seen in my life. I don't know why it took me so long to watch it, but that song is like a huge plot point in that movie. Mm-hmm. And do you know that the guy who wrote that song, like the lead singer of that band, used to come to the Starbucks I worked at when I was in college?
You have a connection to like all these celebrities. Like,
I mean, he's the lead singer of 9 Days. Calling him a celebrity is
okay, but still.
I mean, his song was in an Oscar-winning movie, so there you go. There is that.
Yeah, exactly. It won a bunch of Oscars.
Yeah, but I knew him back when he was just solo espresso. He just got a solo espresso. Every morning, solo espresso. Solo espresso, if you're out there, I remember you. I knew a guy who was on the Chappelle Show too because of Starbucks. I have a lot of random stories. Hi guys, welcome back to Simply Amazing.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Yeah, today's a singing day, I guess. This is the Nightcrawler podcast where we talk about all things Nightcrawler all day, every day. And here's the funny thing. He's not even in this issue that we're going to talk about, but it's the book he's in. So before we get started,
I was going to say, it doesn't matter because he'll be in next issue and there's a bunch of covers with him on it for next issue. So pay attention to them.
Well, I'm Lisa, aka the OG Nocturne, and I'm joined by David S. Pumpkins is over here. So
I love that skit, dude.
It is great.
I remember that shit came out like years ago. God, I don't even know what year it was at this point, but I just thought that was the funniest shit. And like when people thought it was funny at first too and memed and stuff, but then after like a few days, people got over. I still thought it was the funniest shit.
So I have anybody who wants access to it. I'm happy to share it with you. I have a playlist on YouTube of my like all-time favorite SNL skits ever, and David S. Pumpkins is on there. So. Another one that's on there that is an all-time favorite is the Japanese game show with Chris Farley and Mike Myers and Alec Baldwin. That one is one of the absolute, I mean, as far as Chris Farley, that's like a sleeper hit for Chris Farley. Everybody thinks about Matt Foley, but nobody talks about Japanese game show. That is such a good skit. So, but yeah, we're not here to talk about SNL. We're here to talk about, of course, our boy Kurt and Uncanny X-Men issue 2, written by fan of the pod, Gail Simone. Hey girl, what are you doing?
Hey Gail.
Gail, we can see you right now. We know that you're driving to the Bucks to get yourself a coffee before you write Uncanny X-Men. I don't know, 27 that you're up to right now. I don't know what you'll be writing right now, but but we see you. We know you're listening. And
she's preparing the Nightcrawler spinoff. I know nothing about.
The Nightcrawler. I can't wait. Okay. Well, I'm gonna say before we even get started, there is a totally unintentional nod to Nocturne in here that I'm going to bring up when it comes up. Another solid issue. I mean, I here's the thing with comic book issues. It's like, I'm the queen of like letting things wait to the trade and then like reading it all at once. So for me, comic books issue to issue can be sometimes like, okay, not a lot happened, but it's pushing the story. So we learned more about the Outliers, who they are. We learned about Xavier's girlfriend we never heard about before.
Okay, well, if we're going to start there, I mean, it makes sense to start the issue. I was just like, listen, again, I can't disagree with Charles on his taste in women. I hate it for me, but I can't disagree with him. I can't blame him at all. She literally climbs him like a tree upon first meeting, tells him he has to take her for coffee or whatever. And he's just like, yeah, I do. Like, went from the start, like, outstanding.
I just realized the connection between her and the end of this issue, and now it bugs me. And now I'm like, oh my
I just did too, actually. Like, as I was saying that, I was like, I remember the names of these things, and I was like, oh my no.
Specifically, I remember.
So good, guys. Damn it, Gail. I can't believe we just realized it together.
But what's crazy is like so it's kind of funny because an article came out or something was published about this meeting with Xavier, and like everybody was speculating it was Gabrielle Haller. And so that's kind of what I expected it to be because of that. So when I saw the name Sarah, I was like, oh, and I kind of like, I took note of it because it was not what I expected. Now I'm wondering if that article that came out or whatever else that came out, is that part of this? Like, here's the thing. I don't trust the media anymore, guys. I trust nothing. I am full of conspiracy theories now. That's all I exist in. And I don't know what to say. I trust nobody. Gail, are you trolling me? That's all I want to say.
I don't know why you trusted anybody, especially the media before. Welcome to the club. Everybody, we finally got her. We got Lisa to join us.
I mean, like fake news. Fake news. That's all I got.
No, Lisa, not there. No.
No, I'm not. No, listen, I got to be honest. I'm not a fan of the man, obviously. But you know, he had some sound bites at that debate that I can't. We're not getting into it.
We're absolutely not dealing with that. Listen, everybody, just go watch the Daily Show or something if you want to hear all the jokes with that. All right, they're there. I promise.
Yeah. Eat the meat that you get at your local grocery store. That's all I'm saying.
Gail, she. This is only the second issue of Uncanny X-Men, like this run, and she's already laid everything out so beautifully, like that we're still just like realizing. So anyways, let's just keep going so we can help connect the dots for everyone else listening.
Yes. And I want to point something out. You know, there comes a level of privilege with someone of Gail's esteem. Of course, she's worked her way to that level where she has that privilege of being able to know that she has a certain amount of time maybe on a book at this point, whereas you know, newer writers might not have that. So, you know, but it's all due to, you know, the work that she's put in over the past several decades as, you know, a great comic writer. But yeah, so we meet Sarah. It turns out, you know, she's like, yeah, you better take me for a date. Then we're back with the outliers, as they are called, who are these like 5 kids who show up, and, you know, they're literally, Rogue is like, let's assess the situation. And Gambit's like, I don't know, my thing's glowing. And Logan's like, I'm gonna punch him. I'm just gonna punch him. How about that?
Yeah.
And I don't know. So for me, the one unbelievable thing about this is like, how are you astute enough to know who the X-Men are, but you would still punch Wolverine? Like, it's like I wouldn't walk up to John Cena and punch him in the face. Like, I'm going to tell you, like, there's a 99.9% chance he's not going to punch me back because I'm a woman. I do believe that, but I still wouldn't do it. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. I feel like that's a crazy thing, but I like how, you know, Rogue connects it to the boy that just passed away. And it's this idea of, you know, I mean, I think many of us have these moments in our lives where it's like something happens and then something right after that, you know, it almost feels like there's a connection, like there's, you know, it's meant to be. And I think that's what she's saying here is like, we couldn't obviously save that poor kid, but, you know, these kids are coming here looking for help. So why don't we,
right,
you know, why don't we help them? And of course, but we have my favorite Calico who has to She-Ra Princess of Power it with her horse. I mean,
I love that. Again, Gail Simone, just it's just perfect. It works so well. And this series has a little bit of everything in it already, and we're only at the second issue. It's got the romance, it's got the horror elements are kicking in, it's got the action, it's got stuff that just makes you think. Like, it's got a little bit of everything. Mystery, it's really got everything there.
It really does. And, you know, but once they're finally able to kind of all calm down, which the person who shows up and gets them to calm down is, you know, Jubilee. We're jumping a little bit ahead here. You know what I'm really interested in? I'm really interested in this death guy's powers, you know, and it's especially interesting when he's like, you know, oh, Mr. Logan, you've killed a lot of people. So this idea of how he can access the other side. And, you know, I'm very interested to see what they're going to do with him. We do find out who this mystery mutant is, whatever they are, as well. And it's Siren.
I know. I was like, my girl. Like, see, okay, listen, I say my girl. I don't even know that much about Siren, but since I've known of her, I've liked her. I've just never delved into her character enough to like obsess like with Kurt or whatever. But I like her vibe. I like her energy. So Siren, okay, if there is like an X-Men Hall of Fame where it's like, let's call it the X-Men Valhalla. This is like, girl, you've done your part, retire, enjoy your pension. Like, this bitch deserves her pension. Like, right.
Like, I mean, I just go back to what happened to her in X Factor, and like she gave birth to a baby that then got fucking sucked into. I mean, like that whole situation.
Right.
She deserves to retire. She deserves her pension. She deserves to be laying out on a beach, with some pina coladas, checking out the local fairs. That's what this woman deserves. She's not deserved to be in a prison in Graymalkin, whatever else. So, and where's her father? Where's Banshee? Where are you during all this?
It's true. What the fuck, Banshee?
I mean,
maybe he's going to show up though, because listen, it's a family book. All these families are connecting. Gail's
that is true. Oh my
way.
God. What if like one character shows up and they all are connected? And it turns out that every mutant is really, maybe every mutant.
No, absolutely not, Lisa. Stop that right now.
Well, I mean, technically we all come from one person if you go back far enough, so.
Yeah, but
it's Adam and Eve. It's Adam and Eve. It's Adam and Eve, not, I don't know. I was going to say Adam and Steve, but I was like,
I throw away Genesis. No offense to anybody that loves the Old Testament and is Christian and all that, but I throw away Genesis completely. I can't do it.
So excuse me?
I do. I couldn't get past the first 2 pages of it.
I can't believe.
She's Googling something, guys. She's trying to find whatever is going to support what she's about to say.
I'm just saying The Land of Confusion is a great fucking song, and it's also a great video. So don't you tell me you don't like Genesis. Genesis fucking rocks.
Okay, no, the band, yes. I love the band Genesis. Phil Collins, the group, absolutely.
Also, the Sega Genesis rocks.
It's true. It does.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this with perfect confidence, and anybody who disagrees with me, come fight me. The best video game ever created in history is Aladdin for Sega Genesis. Come for me.
Yeah, you're just wrong on every front with that.
Oh my God, that game is so freaking good. That is such a good game. I like Aladdin for Sega Genesis is like my favorite game, period.
Yeah, there are like multiple. Well, yeah, because for me, it would be a toss up between a couple of PlayStation 2 games for like my favorite game ever, probably.
Oh yeah, I didn't have anything after a Sega Genesis. I didn't even have a Sega Genesis. My cousin did. So yeah. So understand that when I say the greatest game ever created, my gaming ended in 1997.
I love it for you.
Yeah. To be fair, I did play GoldenEye on the N64 a couple times. And that was
yeah. I think
that's a good game.
I have quite a few of the James Bond games.
That's a good game with the Rumble Pack. The Rumble Pack was what made that game for me. Do you guys remember? If you're out there and you remember the Rumble Pack, please let us know, because I feel like we need to have like a retro like thing. Anyway, getting back to the issue. So we talked about Siren already, but we got to talk more about Sarah. She loves bald guys. Apparently,
she's got this like dominatrix vibe almost. Like it's very subtle, of course, because they're like in public, they're like in a coffee shop and all that. But she's got like the very confident, like kind of Emma Frost vibes.
I was gonna say Samantha from Sex and the City vibes. You know what I mean?
That also, that's valid.
It's like it's very like if you play your card right, things are gonna go well for you, kind of thing.
What she keep calling him? She calls him like sweet boy, which that's also really weird. Because
that is weird.
That's one of those things that especially like another adult saying to another, that is a very thin line, if it's even there, between like a significant other saying it and like a mother or something. Like,
yeah, it is. Yeah. I want to throw out there, you know what her vibe is very much reminiscent of? Her vibe is reminiscent of that panel from years and years ago of Mary Jane being like, you just hit the jackpot.
Yeah, except that one still isn't close enough to being like what a mother would say. So
fair. So Rogue is like, so we get back to Rogue and the Outliers, and Rogue is like, okay, I don't want to hit a horse, but I'll hit a teenage girl any fucking day of the week.
Yeah, she's like, these bitches, I'm used to smacking them.
Exactly. Sorry about your bitch. I'm going to smack your curls out your hair. And yeah, she smacks Calico down. I mean, basically everybody surrenders. Jubilee shows up and is like, you bitches, how am I the adult here? How am I the one who's, making the rules? And
I know, I was so happy to see her. I'm pretty sure I knew she was coming because I think Gail hinted at it a lot.
Well, she did announce that Jubilee was going to be part of the main team. But
okay. That's it then. Okay.
Yeah. And honestly, I will say, I really think the art for Jubilee's powers is really pretty. I would buy a print of that and hang it on my wall. I think it's
I love the art in this series.
Yeah, the art is fantastic.
Marquez,
it really is.
I think it's David Marquez.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Just so
but I also want to give credit to the colorist, because the colors in this are really phenomenal too. It's like everything comes together really, really well.
Yeah.
So the adults are like, we're gonna have a chat, and you kids go hang out by the fire, because putting kids by fire, that's always
then of course you get the little moment where Gambit and Rogue have to be horny for at least 10 seconds, which is valid. I love it.
Logan's having daddy issues. Logan's like, I'm not gonna mentor people anymore. I'm not gonna do this shit. I'm not gonna be Uncle Wolvie, which is canon for what Nocturne called him. Just so although
she's laying the groundwork. It's all gonna come together in 10 years, Lisa.
Specifically, Chuck Austen wrote that canon, so like, I mean, maybe give or take it, right? Because Chuck Austen canon is very fluid.
Gail and Chuck, come on the pod together.
I mean, let's do separate first, and then maybe together. We'll do that. But yeah, Wolverine, he's been through it. He's been through a lot, which I mean, that's fine. And
he's always been through a lot. Like, that's just his thing, Yeah.
Poor guy. So the kids are basically like, we are here. They introduce themselves. Wolverine's like, don't tell us what that name is. Tell us what your mutant name is. And it's like, all right, fine. So they tell them their mutant names, and they all explain kind of like, we're all alone. We have no parents, and we, have heard a voice, or that we had some kind of compulsion, and it brought us here. It told us to come here because they're being chased by some kind of, some weird thing that they don't understand. Mm-hmm. And while Wolverine's talking to them, Rogue calls Cyclops to be like, hey, we got to go check out Greymalkin. And he's like, can you cool your tits for 5 fucking seconds? Jubilee literally was there 5 seconds ago, didn't see anything. So why do you think you got to go rushing in?
Right.
So of course, then she hangs up the phone, and she's like, well, I got to call my brother then and get him involved, because, if I don't invite Kurt, he's going to tell Mom, and then she's going to be pissed. So.
Oh yeah. Maybe this is later, but I thought it was before. Rogue called Scott at some point, and Scott's like,
exactly. Rogue called Scott, and Scott's like, calm your tits, girl, don't go rushing in.
He's like, don't do anything, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I mean, he's up in Alaska doing nothing. You know what? He's living the finale of Dexter right now, and that's how disappointing he is.
Yeah. Well, you know what I also found interesting in this issue, and I don't know if it, like, what it means, if it even does, like, it'd be something I would be interested to ask Gail, because, like, people keep calling her Anna Marie. I have not seen people, like, consistently back to back, like X-Men, continuously call her Anna Marie a lot rather than Rogue. And I don't think that's a bad thing, but it seems like a very specific choice, and I'm wondering why.
So I'm going to give you a theory for that. My theory is because the X-Men have been disbanded. There are no X-Men. Mm-hmm. So I think that what I saw in it was, at first he's like, don't do it. And then he uses her name almost like as a reminder of like, you're not that person anymore. Those people don't exist anymore. The X-Men are gone. You know what I mean? So it's like, don't go running in like you're an X-Man, because you're not. But at the same time, I think that she's like, guess what though? We are the X-Men, bitch. So Kurt, get your ass down here. If we're going to be the X-Men, you got to be here. You're the JT. You're the who's, I don't know, who's not, I was going to say Joey Fatone, but that is not a good one. Like, you're the Justin Timberlake of us.
Well, he was also still in sync. I can't remember the lead singer of Backstreet Boys, but
yeah, I don't think there was a lead singer of Backstreet. Like, who would have been the lead singer?
I don't know. It was that one
Nick
blonde
Carter?
one. He was the
Nick Carter, I guess. Yeah, but I mean,
yeah, but no, that's a great point actually, because I don't think they've gone by their like X-Men names, as you put it. Like, Logan's being Logan, not Wolverine. Kurt's named Kurt, not Nightcrawler. Jubilee is Jubilation, actually, not even Jubilee, Jubilation fully. Gambit's Gambit. But yeah, that's a great point. I think you're right.
Yeah. So like, they're figuring all this situation out, and they're talking about this hag that's been following them and is out to get them all and is going to eat them alive. And they're all terrified. And it turns out that the hag who just caught that girl that we saw in the last issue,
and she's like she's this like worse than a werewolf look. Like, she creepy as fuck, guys. Like, I would not go near her.
she has a little bit of the look of the Stalk from Saga, which I don't think you've read Saga.
Yeah, no, I have.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Remember the Stalk, the spider lady? She kind of reminds me of that a little bit. She also kind of reminds me. Well, it's very.
But she doesn't look like a spider. Don't worry, everybody, because I'm terrified of spiders.
She doesn't look like a spider, but she also kind of reminds me of the other mother from Coraline. But that's another spider character. So it's like, but there's a lot of long, like natty characteristics, like long fingers and claws, and it's spider-esque, but not a spider. So, and she's blue, and her name is Sarah. And spoiler alert, guys, I don't know if you noticed, but Xavier's girlfriend was named Sarah. So what did Xavier do to another woman is all I got to ask about that.
I mean, we don't know if, listen, I don't think Xavier directly did anything, but he could have indirectly caused her something to happen to her. And then he like deeply regretted it and never told anybody. I could see that dumb shit with him.
So Xavier dated Moira, and look what that bitch ended up doing. Xavier dated Landra, and that she has attacked Earth 1,000 freaking times. I mean, this man, his taste in women is like Kurt, except like extinction level. Like Kurt's gonna date the girl. Kurt's gonna fall in love with the girl who's gonna break his heart, but Xavier's gonna fall in love with a girl who's literally gonna end civilization. Like, man, you've got to do better for the rest of us. All right, buddy? Because I don't want to die because you couldn't get it off.
I mean, that's a mood. Like, but again, Charles B. Charleson.
I mean, Charles B. Charleson. Put it on a shirt, put it on a hat, put it on a campaign poster. I mean, Charles B. Charleson. Actually, I want that show. We had Charles in Charge. I want Charles B. Charleson.
Supported.
Yeah, Charles B. Charleson. It's just a guy who's named Charles, and he just, every day he Charleses.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, thank you all so much for coming and joining us again. We know our schedule hasn't been perfect because we both have had a lot of crazy things happening in our personal lives. But we try to get in as much as we can, and we're going to try and get more stuff going. We've got some plans coming up. We're thinking about reading another series, and of course, we're going to keep going over Uncanny X-Men. And if there's anything you guys want to hear, you want to talk about, if you want to come on the pod and join us, please reach out and let us know. We'd love to have you. We always love having guests on. I know the guy who wanted to come and talk about the Soul Sword. We're gonna have him come on. I'll have to talk to him again. We have to have him come on soon. So that'd be awesome. But Lauren, tell them where they can find you.
On Twitter at friendlymBHDBI, and you can find me wherever. Trying to still do a little bit less on social media for my own sanity, but still do enough that I get to talk to people. So
awesome. And you can find us at simplyamazingpod.com. All of our socials are there. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on all of them. We're mostly on Twitter. But even then we're still sporadic because it's been so crazy in our lives lately. But come find us and talk to us. We have fun. We put up polls every once in a while. I put up a poll recently. I forget what the poll was that I put up. Oh, I put up a poll asking how everybody found Nightcrawler, and I think there's still time to vote in it. So we want to hear how you found our boy and what you think, how were you exposed to him for the first time? So, and just, keep the stories of being exposed to him PG-13, please.
Rated R stories will have to come if we can ever do like a Patreon or something and do like after dark stuff.
That would be a lot of fun. That would be good. So come and join us on Twitter and Facebook and everything. Talk to us. Tell us everything you like. Like I said, simplyamazingpod.com. And if you are out there and you're saying to yourself, "Ooh, it's getting nippy outside. The pumpkin spice is rocking. I love spooky season." You might be a basic bitch, but it's okay. You're simply amazing.